20 names, one throne, and millions of female fans around the world ready to go to war in the comments over who's number one. Today, I'm bringing you the most explosive ranking this channel has ever done. The top 20 most popular and handsome Turkish actors of 2026. And let me be clear right from the start. This isn't based on my personal taste, and I'm definitely not reading tea leaves. This ranking is built on media coverage, social media buzz, and the popularity of the projects these actors were involved in throughout 2025 and 2026. In other words, these are the men who are truly dominating the industry's attention right now. But first, I have a favor to ask. Before the countdown begins, pause the video and leave a comment guessing who you think will take the number one spot. Then, at the end, we'll see if you guessed it right. Deal? Go ahead, drop your pick, and let's kick things off with number 20. Number 20. Halil İbrahim Ceyhan. Opening our list is a guy who still hasn't landed a truly career-defining role, and yet, here he is, in the top 20. Why? Because Halil İbrahim Ceyhan keeps winning fan polls for the most charismatic Turkish actor over and over again. The industry may not have handed him his breakthrough project yet, but his fan base already adores him enough to make up for it. Number 19. Mert Yazıcıoğlu. Mert is the actor producers turn to when they need psychologically complex, emotionally damaged characters. That's exactly what keeps him at the center of conversations. People aren't debating his looks, they're debating his performances. And for an actor this young, that's a huge achievement. Number 18. Aytaç Şaşmaz. An actor and singer who cemented his status as the new generation's ultimate romantic leading man after the release of the melodrama The One I Love. Between music and acting, he's never really off-screen. Number 17. Barış Baktaş. A huge jump up the rankings. Barış Baktaş finished among the leaders in several international fan polls as one of the most handsome actors of the year. And unlike local Turkish rankings, these polls are driven by international audiences, which is exactly what earns him a spot on our list. Number 16. Alp Navruz. A regular in Turkish entertainment's most handsome rankings. His secret? A smart balance between starring in romantic dramas and landing major advertising campaigns. Alp Navruz isn't just recognizable from TV series, his face is also everywhere on billboards for major brands. Number 15. Burak Çelik. Without exaggeration, Burak has some of the most talked about blue eyes in Turkish television and an impeccable athletic physique to match. After wrapping up his work on the hit series Boundless Love, he joined the cast of the gritty crime thriller Underground in 2026 as Volkan. It's a memorable role, but still a supporting one, which is why Burak falls just short of the leaders in terms of buzz around leading performances. Give him another year, and he'll climb much higher. Number 14. Murat Yıldırım. Murat Yıldırım belongs to Turkish TV's veteran generation, and somehow he's still relevant, year after year. In an industry that churns out new faces every single season, that's genuinely rare. Number 13. Engin Akyürek. Built on iconic projects from years ago, Engin's fan base is massive and loyal in a way that just doesn't fade with time. That's what keeps him consistently near the top, long after the shows that made him famous ended. Number 12. Onur Tuna. A charismatic actor with a mesmerizing gaze, Onur deliberately stepped away from traditional TV soap operas during the 2025 to 2026 season in favor of more niche, higher-quality streaming projects. His powerful dramatic performances in The Stranger in the Mirror and Letters from the Past have kept his name in the spotlight. He's one of the rare actors who's expanding his audience instead of simply relying on the one he already has. Number 11. İbrahim Çelikol. The very definition of rugged masculinity on Turkish television. His tough, stoic characters keep pulling in massive audiences, and, perhaps even more importantly, millions of female fans who can't resist that classic, strong and silent type. Number 10. Burak Özçivit. A lot of people probably expected to see this actor much higher on the list. But this year, he had to give way to several younger stars. Burak is a living legend of Turkish dramas. He first rose to fame after winning the Best Model of Turkey competition, and today, he continues to captivate millions of viewers through epic historical series and international fan events that draw crowds to airports all over the world. Number 9. Aras Bulut İnemli. A true master of transformation. Before becoming an actor, Aras was seriously studying to become an aeronautical engineer. Every time he returns with a major new project, it becomes an event people talk about for weeks. His performance in Genius speaks for itself. Number 8. Şükrü Özyıldız. A striking dark-haired actor with an unforgettable smile who decided to completely reinvent himself after the success of romantic comedies like Love Tactics. Throughout 2025 and 2026, he took on the demanding historical role of Flavius in the drama Foundation Orhan, while also appearing in the action comedy Disco. Critics love his work, but historical dramas generate a different kind of buzz on social media, quieter than modern romances, which is exactly why he lands just outside the top 5. Number 7. Burak Deniz. Burak built his name on the streaming era. Pure charisma, plus a string of complex, almost mysterious characters that demand real emotional fire to pull off. Funny enough, that's not really his type. In interviews, he's said he actually prefers playing the villain. He didn't even train as an actor at first. He studied art history in university and only got into acting through classes and auditions afterward. Not bad for a guy who grew up in Izmir with his mom after his parents split right after he was born. Number 6. Akin Akinozu. His comeback in the political drama The Heir instantly shot him back to the top of social media trends. A perfect example of what one great project can do. Suddenly, everyone is talking about him again. Number 5. Barış Arduç. Barış captured enormous attention thanks to his on-screen partnership with Hande Erçel in some of the biggest streaming releases of the year. Screen chemistry is something you simply can't fake, and it's exactly what propelled him into the top 5. Number 4. Kıvanç Tatlıtuğ. The living definition of male beauty in Turkish cinema, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, Kıvanç played basketball seriously in his youth, and his career began not in acting school, but after winning the Best Model of the World title. For one role, as a poet suffering from tuberculosis, he lost a dramatic amount of weight, pushing himself to the limit for authenticity. Today, critics analyze every new performance he gives instead of simply reporting on it, and that's a level very few actors ever reach. And here we are, the top 3. Number 3. Mert Ramazan Demir. The biggest phenomenon and the biggest hype machine of the past few years. Mert was born in Istanbul in 1998, the youngest of 6 children. After moving on from the smash hit Golden Boy to major new projects, including Disney Plus's drama Biz Bir Şey Olmaz, he proved that his success was no fluke. His social media reach is enormous, his name never leaves the headlines, and he's become the defining heartthrob of a whole new generation. Number 2. Kerem Bürsin. While most Turkish actors focus on the domestic market, Kerem went the other way, expanding into international productions, becoming the face of global brands, and constantly reinventing himself for more challenging roles. Here's a fun fact. His childhood was anything but typical. His family moved constantly, and Kerem lived in Scotland, Indonesia, the UAE, and Malaysia before eventually settling in the United States, where he studied marketing at Emerson College in Boston. That international background is exactly what gives him his uniquely Western appeal, and one of the most loyal fan bases outside Turkey. Number 1. Çağatay Ulusoy. The undisputed heavyweight of Turkish cinema, full stop. he became the leading face of Turkey's biggest and most talked-about production, Eşref's Dream. Standing 6 feet 3 inches, Çağatay was a serious basketball player as a kid, and looking at his career today, it seems that height worked in his favor in more ways than one. He started out as a model, but it was his dramatic acting that made him a true star, an actor who sets trends and commands some of the highest salaries in the country. His name has become synonymous with ambitious, high-quality Turkish productions. So there you have it. Çağatay Ulusoy takes the #1 spot. Did you guess correctly? And now, the name many of you were probably shouting at your screens throughout the entire top 3, Can Yaman. I deliberately left him out of the main ranking, and here's why. Calling him simply a Turkish actor doesn't quite capture who he is anymore. It's not because he's become less popular, quite the opposite. While the actors in our top 3 dominate the Turkish market and local media rankings, Can Yaman has become the undisputed king of international expansion. His career has long outgrown the traditional world of Turkish TV dramas. Throughout 2025 and 2026, Can Yaman has reached a whole new peak, not just as a Turkish star, but as a European and global one. Instead of starring in traditional Turkish series, he's leading large-scale international productions in English and Spanish. His historical action series El Turco and the adventure drama Sandokan were made for a worldwide audience, not for Turkish television. So if there were a separate ranking for Turkish actors with global careers, Can Yaman would take the #1 spot without a doubt. And that's our final ranking. Do you agree with this ranking? Or are you ready to start a full-blown rebellion because someone deserved a higher spot? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. If you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to hit like. Subscribe so you don't miss future videos about Turkish stars, and I'll see you in the next one.